Thank you to all who find themselves listening to this video at this specific point in time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for being open to the information that will be shared today. This message will be coming from Spirit, and this message will be in regard to the revolution and evolution of your education system. As you know, the individual that is currently channeling is part of the education system. As someone who teaches undergrad and graduate classes, she has seen a lot of the dysfunction that your education system in the United States carries. As is with most institutions, the idea of organized and standardized testing and measurement, while in its beginnings was of great use to humanity's evolution, is now a hindrance to humanity's evolution. If you standardize the way in which humans are evaluated in their performance, and if you test them and teach them how to take tests correctly instead of how to live life correctly, you as an education institution have failed the human race. Now, unfortunately, most educational institutions, including those of religious backgrounds, such as churches or even more fringe-related educational institutions, are becoming a barrier to humans understanding who they truly are and what they are supposed to do. Now, the question that we hear resonating is, well, if these educational institutions are no longer doing what they are supposed to be doing, if they are no longer of service to humanity, what will happen to them? And we tell you it is very clear. These institutions will crumble. People will stop attending them. People will stop funding them. Students will stop taking classes in them. The only institutions that will survive this are the ones who have evolved beyond the idea of profit maximizing strategies. The only institutions that foster education that will continue on into the new phase of humanity are those that center human flourishing, that center human identity in a tailored approach to each individual seeking to gain knowledge and experiential wisdom. And first and foremost, we also wish to say that we communicate a warning to those educational institutions that require high membership fees, that require high fees in general, that require the individuals taking their classes and knowledge to go into full-time debt for a part-time education. Whoever chooses to foster education in these ways will have to change their paths and approaches or become obsolete. Now, we understand that many of you are part of these institutions and have worked hard to make up for the failings of these organizations. We see many of you with pure hearts and wonderful, great intentions. And you may feel hopeless at times, like you're fighting a big beast that cannot be stopped. But if you listen closely, if you look at the statistics, if you see the decline in enrollment numbers, you will see the early signs of these systems becoming obsolete. You are seeing them already, especially you who are highly embedded in these organizations. So you say, well, would it be better for me to jump ship? And we say, not necessarily. In fact, it is your understanding of what is going wrong, your vision of what should be the right way to educate individuals. It is your contrasting experience that allows you to filter out what would be best for students, whether of a very young age or a very old age. You who are in these systems are learning to see what is best, what is desired, and what will subsist. So there is reason behind many of you who were embedded into these systems. Some of you will step out earlier, some of you will step out later. It will be unique to each individual. But the reality is, most of what you call universities and even schools will cease to exist in the next 20 to 40 years. Instead, you will see more community-driven, centralized approaches. Communes will be built. Educational villages will be built. Workshops will be held. Tailor-made homeschooling programs will flourish. The reality is this: the population in the United States is declining steadily. It will continue to decline. It will never be as large as it was with the baby boomer generation. Now, there is a very true purpose in the decrease of humanity across the world, not just in the United States, but this will be addressed in a different video. Instead, what we address here is, once again, the decline in these educational institutions. Learn what you can from them and learn what you do not want from them so that you can inform this new level of educational approach that will be birthed and is being birthed as we speak. There will be more grassroots approaches that honor the local culture. Yes, and with local culture in the United States, we mean particularly the local states, the geographic area, the notion with which specific children are raised in rural areas, in urban areas. All these factors play roles in how it is best to tailor individual education and educational programs to students, young children, teenagers, and adults, as well as older adults. All of those initiatives that seek to honor the individual uniqueness of students, the genuine expression of identity, all of these will contribute to what is forming as the new approach to educating your next generation. The beauty of this evolution is that it will encourage individuals to know thyself deeply. Encourage individuals to understand who they are, why they tick certain ways, why they react and respond in other ways. This is wonderful to us because the power of humanity lies in its embracing of its unique expression through each human individual. In fact, many of the sufferings that humanity goes through now is because your uniqueness has been suppressed, systematically so, programmed out of you. In fact, many of you are ashamed of your individual uniqueness because all of your socialization process in the educational institutions have traumatized it out of you. And we understand that your educational institutions are not evil by nature, but they are old and they no longer serve where humanity is headed. And so for those of you who are listening to this message and who feel called to walk out of these institutions, not out of fear, but in an empowered way, please do so. And for those who are listening to this message who still feel a great conviction to help where they can, to form where they can, then please stay, because you will be informed all the more of what needs to change for the next level of education. And do not fear, because if you are truly in your conviction, standing in your peace and empowerment, even your future job, career, or direction will be provided for divinely. We look also to those who have been educating from home. Stay-at-home mothers, homemakers, those who have chosen to teach their children in more organic ways. We see the hard work that you have put into your children's life. We honor you for your attempts at experimenting and finding ways to honor your children's unique expression of self. You are the way showers, way makers, and those with the experiential knowledge to build the next generation of educational programs. Yes, you may be too busy to do so now, too in survival mode, too focused on trying to get your children the education they need. But you will organically learn what is good for them, what is not good for them. And once they walk out of your nest, once they become independent adults, we encourage you. If there was a great lesson that you learned raising your children, or these children that were put in your charge for specific classes and workshops, we encourage you to bring those lessons to others. Either way, we encourage you to follow your passions and what you are passionate about. We appreciate all attempts at improving education, for those will never go without being rewarded. For it is the next generation which must be valued in the here and now. It is the next generation which must be honored and protected in the here and now. So thank you to all who have invested of their time, their energy, their tears, and their laughter. For in many other civilizations, educators are the ones that we respect and honor the most. You are appreciated from the divine, the spiritual realm, and beyond. Thank you for your service, and goodbye.